I was coming across 125th Street there, and two cops had a flat tire. I laughed all the way to jail. Really, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure to be here. I've been having a little bad luck lately. A couple of weeks ago, I lost my room, lost my car. I lost the room when I lost the car. Lost my wife. Her husband came and got her. I don't know, I've been here ever since I was born. See, when I was born, there was two of us, my brother and I. My father looked at my mother looked at my father. He says, baby, you better pick the one you want. I'm going to drown that other. And that's how I learned how to swim. I used to tell my dad, I said, Daddy, can I go outside and play with the other boys? He said, shut up, boy, drink your beer and roll the dice. All right, again now, brother, I saw a friend of mine yesterday. We were standing there on 125th Street and 7th Road. Friend of mine, I said, how's everything, baby? He said, everything is cool. So you were telling me about this other cat came to New York, and unfortunately he couldn't read, you see, and he got lucky, got a little money, and bought him a Cadillac. And naturally he ready to go back down home and show off his Cadillac, you know. One day he jumped in his Cadillac and struck out for Georgia. Top laying back, wind blowing through his process. So unfortunately, you know, he got lost, you know, not being able to read, he got lost. He pulled up in the gas station and said, hey man, what way do I go out here for the South? So well, you go out here and you hit 101. Daddy, when you get to 101, you max down on the gas, you move into 301. When you get to 301, you got a straight shoot right into Georgia. He said, okay, thank you. He went out and saw the sign said Route 101. He stepped down on the gas and he was moving on. So the cop pulled him over. He said, hey man, you know you were doing 101 miles an hour. He said, yeah, that's what the sign said up there. The cop said, man, that was Route 101. He said, oh yeah? He said, well, it's a good thing y'all caught me before I got to 301. He moving on. I had a joke about it. I was out in California, you know, and I was fortunate to get in Warner Brothers studios to see how they make those moving pictures. I was on the set when they were shooting this picture of Tyson, the life story of Tyson, you know. The scene opens where Tyson was swinging through the jungle on vines, see. His wife, Jane, was trapped in the middle of all kinds of wild animals, tigers, snakes. They were going to kill her, see. And Tyson saw this from this tall tree in the jungle and hollered out loud, Jane, don't worry, me save you. I'll swing over, Jane grab vine. Tarzan made a swing, Jane reached up to grab the vine, and she missed the vine, and that's where Tarzan got his holler. Ow! I'm a very happy man today, very happy man. I'm quite sure a lot of you have little small kids, you know, when they're growing up, kind of makes you feel a little proud of them. Today, my little baby had his first tooth today. He fell down and knocked it out, and he said his first word today, I'll be a dirty mother. You know, kids are so smart nowadays. Oh, they're smart. This little kid next door, you know, he goes up to his father and says, hey, Dad, when we are born, where do we come from? His father said, well, son, you come from the dust. He said, well, when we die, where do we go to? Where you go back to dust. He said, well, Dad, there's a man up under Mom's bed. He's going, I'll come in, one of the two. I tell you, kids are smart. They are like this little boy and this little boy and little girl was playing, you know, in the pool, you know. He says, I'm gonna stick my finger in your belly button. She said, no, you ain't. Said, yes, I am. I'm gonna stick my finger in your belly button. She said, ha, that ain't my belly button. He said, ha, that ain't my finger. I tell you, kids are smart. Kids are, same two kids playing the water, so after a while he jumped up, he said, I think I'll duck you. She said, no, you ain't. So I'm going to duck you. She said, how you going to duck me? You don't even know how to say it. Kids are I got another little kid. He's about 2, maybe a quarter to 3. He was out in the backyard bouncing the ball. He bounced the ball. So the ball bounced high over the fence into the chicken yard. Well, by the ball being white, old chicken saw the ball. Chicken ran over and squat out on the ball. My little boy ran over and kicked the chicken. My wife came to the back door to the boy, for kicking that chicken, you don't get no fried chicken for 6 months. He come in the house all mad, he kicked the dogs. So now you don't get no hot dogs for 6 months. I had been downtown shopping. I walked in the back door and stepped on the cat's tail. My little boy said, Daddy, you gonna suffer for a long Thank you. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to do a little tune right about here. Hope you like it. One of my old recordings. Recorded this tune in 1931. The record will be out soon. The title of it, Baby, when you see the rings around the bathtub, then you know I've left you clean. In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took... I got a terrible cold tonight. I'm going to get me a room. I got a room, nice hotel. Nice hotel. Hotel got everything. Wall-to-wall roaches. Cat had enough to put. He had the nerve to put a sign up over the door says $2 and up. He right. I was up all night too. I got a song about the hotel. It goes something like this. I rented a room down on the avenue. The landlady said that everything was right. She said the bed bugs will not bother you. But man, when I turned out of that light, them boys started marching. They was not crawling, they was marching. They would detour and then I'll squat to my left and then I'll squat to the right. And they would stop it long enough to bite and nibble and ooh, they carried on marching. Oh, I had a heck of a time. Oh, when the lights have mercy, when we're down low. Now, just before the last bug passed, he stopped and he dropped one on the top of my head. Wait a minute. I love music. Everybody in my family was music lovers. My father was so crazy about music, till music killed him. Our piano fell on him. See, a friend of mine in the audience tonight, we was in the army together, a friend of mine. I remember one day, the captain was giving instruction what to do when you get so many feet in air, you know. He said, fellas, we're going up today for the first time. When you reach the degree of 2,000 feet, you jump, count to 10, pull a ripcord, chute will open, truck will be there to bring you back to camp. One soldier didn't believe him. He said, hey, man, this captain for the job. He said, oh, man, come on, let's go. So they went up 2,000 feet. The captain gave the order. He said, ready? Jump. This fella count to 10, the chute wouldn't open. They was going down. This cat hunts his pot. He said, hey, man. I told that captain for the job, this damn thing won't even open. Other captain, yeah, I bet that damn truck won't be there either. I was in a plane. I don't care too much about planes. Plane rides used to be real nice, but now people done got to the place want to carry bombs on there with commit their suicide and take yours along with them. I was on a plane. This plane was about 2,000 feet in the air, and it hit an air pocket and fell about 50 feet like so yoom. This old lady was seated behind me. She says, "Young man, did you see what that plane did?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, but you wait until you see what I did." Oh, that plane was dipping and diving, so I got sick. And the stewardess came over to me. You know what a stewardess are? That's the lady comes around and see if you want anything. Then she buckle you down tight to see that you don't get it. She said, "Mr. Tyson, you don't feel so well." I said, "No, I don't." "Well, would you like an aspirin, or would you rather step out this door and catch a little air?" I said, "Lady, do you know we're over 2,000 feet in the air?" She says, "Oh, no wonder that other cover didn't come back." Well, that plane leveled out. She was telling me a joke about this little 18-year-old girl was riding a train, and she had a little small baby in her arms. Well, through the night, she ran out of milk, and she called the porter. She says, "Oh, porter, where could I find some milk for my baby?" He says, "Oh, I'm sorry, lady, but the diner's closed now." Well, he was thinking it'd be all right if I just nursed my baby here on the train. Well, yeah, go ahead. So the old porter, he began putting the bags up on the rack over her head. She was trying to get the baby to take the milk. She says, "Come on, Louis, take it." Louis said, "I don't want it." He said, "Louis, take it." Louis said, "I don't want it." She says, "Okay, now, if you don't take it, I'll just give it to that nice porter." Old porter kneeled down. He said, "Louis, don't take it, boy. Don't take it." She had some nice times. She was telling me another joke about this soldier walking down the street, and this girl jumped out and said, "Hey, soldier, come here. Can I whine your watch?" Old soldier, "Yeah, you can whine it." So he go with this girl, stay with this girl about half an hour. Old soldier go back to camp, stayed in camp about 6 months. Old soldier came back walking down the same street, and the same girl jumped out and said, "Hey, soldier, can I whine your watch?" He said, "Oh no, it's still running from the last time."